Hello, today I want to tell you about a short talks on sequence. Number one, firstly, the speaker said when they got their test, please write their name at the top and wrote their name in capital letters before they did anything else. Then the speaker suggested reading the direction carefully before they answer the questions. Next, the speaker suggested marking the letter in their answer sheet. After that, the speaker suggested let him know if they didn't have a pencil. And finally, the speaker reminded they returning the test and when they were finished and making go home. Number two, firstly, the speaker said hello to the customer and said that they were pleased to listen to Miss Chu playing a violin concerto, and the speaker commented that the concert that evening would be preceded by the brief talk by Professor Robert Simon on the history of the violin. After that, the speaker commented that Mr. Simon had a lecture on the violin all around the world. Lastly, the woman suggested that they all going to the lobby to enjoy refreshment, and she suggested that hurrying their director then, who would introduce the professor. Number three, firstly, the speaker reminded the customers signing at the desk get a visitor pass and announced to them that didn't lose that pass because they would need to wear it at all times when they were in the building. Next, the speaker suggested them waiting for an escort to accompany them to their destination and being escorted at the back to reception desk. After that, the speaker reminded them signing out and turning the pass. And while leaving, finally the speaker thanked the visitor for that. Number four, firstly, the speaker got the customer's attention and announced to them that the store had been closed in 15 minutes. Next, the speaker suggested taking their purchase to the cashier then. After that, the speaker suggested them that having receipt ready to show the guard while leaving. And finally, the speaker suggested the customer checking to make sure all their items were the right size and color before they pay because the store didn't accept return. Number five, firstly, the speaker announced to the audience that it was the weather report after the news. Next, the speaker said reporter Tom Tells would interview Susan Gilbert about her new book, How to Get Rich in the Stock Market. After that, the speaker explained that Mr. Gilbert was the renowned expert on investing and finances and writes the weekly newspaper column You and Your Money. Finally, the speaker said that should be very informed of the show and introduced Peter Cook with the news. Number six, firstly, the speaker said to the audience that there should be a large turnout for the morning afternoon's National Day Parade. Then he announced that it would be preceded by speeches by the mayor and the chief of police. Next, he commented that everyone was invited to enjoy a barbecue and fireworks at City Park in the evening. After that, the speaker said that there was free events and he reminded that to attend the morning soccer game at National Stadium. Finally, the speaker commented that attendance at the game was also free, but he suggested that arriving early if they want to be sure of getting a good seat. Number seven, firstly, the speaker said a few changes had been made to their conference schedule because of schedule conflict. Professor Jameson would speak immediately following lunch instead of before. Next, the speaker announced that morning coffee would be served in the front hall instead of dining room. After that, he commented that the morning workshops would begin at 10 o'clock as originally scheduled, but the afternoon sessions wouldn't begin until 1:30. Finally, the speaker said Ms. Thompson would give the opening talk. Number 8. Firstly, the speaker said that the president left that day for a visit to Latin America. Next, she announced that he would head first to a meeting in Mexico City with leaders from Colombia, Brazil, and Mexico. After that, the speaker said that following a few days of rest at a Mexican beach resort, he would go on to meetings with heads of state in Peru and Ecuador. Finally, the speaker commented that he would tour factories and meet with union leaders in both countries. Number 9. Firstly, the speaker congratulations to the customers because becoming an owner of brake of the Britter-Rific 2010 brake making machine. Then he said that they were sure to enjoy the luxury of having fresh baked bread every day right in their home. After that, the speaker commented that it was easy to use their new brake machine because it was simply choose a receipt from the instruction book, assemble, and measure their ingredients, then place them in the machine. Finally, the speaker said as the brake baked, they weren't able to wait for their first taste. Number 10. Firstly, the speaker said to the students that they could register classes by phone and avoided a long line at the registration office. Next, she suggested the students press 1 if they were a new student, press 2 if they were a returning student. After that, the speaker suggested the student enter their security number, selecting the class number and enter their credit card number. Finally, she commented that they would receive a receipt by mail within 5 days.